The first ever RuneScape 3 leagues is just around the corner, and I gotta be honest, I have been going full leagues brain. I can't stop talking about this on my live streams, and as a matter of fact, during one of my previous live streams, one of my viewers brought up the fact that they have recently released a task list of sorts. It's not a complete task list, but a bit of a starter task list for the upcoming leagues. And today we're going to be breaking down my day one, hour one, actually like right around 45-minute strategy to knock out 850 points, as well as like 80 something tasks. If this video helps you out at all, then help me out by hitting that like button. You would be surprised how far one single like will go in taking a video into the algorithm. But let's go ahead, cut this plug, and jump right on into it here. In the background, I'll have some footage of me in the main game kind of running through this quick hour one strategy here, but for the sake of time, I really am just going to list these tasks and these steps off one by one. Starting off, we're going to have to complete the league's tutorial. After that, we're going to take a quick peek at the skill guide. I believe this just wants you to open up the skill menu. If it doesn't, then I don't know what it wants me to look at, and we're just going to skip this task, because after that, we're going to have to speak to Hans in order to ask him how old we are. Immediately after that, we're going to have to grab a Slayer task from the Lumbridge Slayer Master. She's located right here, right inside the courtyard of the castle. And then we're going to make our way over to Pickpocket a Man. We need to do this at least 10 times for multiple reasons. First off, one of the tasks is pickpocket anyone 5 times, and then another task is pickpocket a man 10 times. So we're going to be knocking out 3 tasks here by doing this, as well as gaining ourselves a little bit of gold, which we're going to need here in a second. And by a second, I mean immediately after this, because we're going to head over to the general store, and we're going to go ahead and grab a free item from the general store. I believe you can get a tinderbox as well as a couple of daggers from this. The daggers we're going to need for what we're going to do next. However, we're also going to need to sell back or give back the tinderbox that we got from the general store, because that's a task as well. But we're also going to buy 2 empty pots, as well as 2 buckets and some shears. I don't know if we technically need to buy the shears, because I believe that you spawn in with all of the items on your tool belt in the tier 1 fashion. So these might be on our tool belt, but we're going to purchase them just in case they're not. Try to attach them to our tool belt. If it lets us, great. If it doesn't, then we're just going to drop these on the ground, because we do need to kind of manage our inventory space here. I'll explain that here in a second. After this, though, we're going to make our way over to the chef in Lumbridge and start cook's assistant. This doesn't work exactly the same as it does in old school RuneScape, but it's very similar. So we're going to start this quest here and then make our way out the back of the castle to kill a giant spider. In the background footage here, killing this spider is a lot faster than what it's going to be during leagues. I'm hoping that because we're going to be at a boosted experience rate, that we're going to be able to get away with fighting these things, because at a low level, these are kind of a pain to take care of. The giant spider you can do at level 3. However, we also, right after the giant spider, need to take out a giant rat. These are level 7, and at level 3 are definitely something that's a little bit harder to take down. I'm hoping with the boosted experience rate, we're going to be able to kind of zoom through and take this out, because we need to take out the giant rat, grab the rat meat and the bones, as well as burying the bones. After that, we're going to make our way over to the prayer nexus, grab a charmed sack from this lady here, and then fill the entire sack at the prayer nexus. Filling the sack is what the task is, but we're also going to deposit the sack into this little thing here just for that extra prayer experience. After that, we're going to make our way across the bridge here to kill a goblin, and then we're going to make our way into the cow pen to milk a cow. I believe that the regular milk that you get works for the quest. I'm not 100% positive on that. Let me know down in the comments. But we need to milk a cow here, and then we need to head up north into the chicken pen and kill a chicken, and then grab the giant egg. After this, we're going to head back down south towards the castle, and we're going to chop one of these trees. Surprisingly, in RuneScape 3, and I must have apparently completely forgot this because it took me for surprise, you can chop even the regular trees multiple times. So we're going to make our way down south again and chop a basic tree, which is a task. And then we're going to chop 10 of that basic tree, actually, which is a task as well. And then there's a third task that will get completed, which says chop any tree 5 times. I thought I was going to have to do that on oak trees, but again, like I said, with normal trees, you can apparently chop them multiple times inside of RuneScape 3. So that task is going to get knocked out alongside of this. Then we're going to work our way all the way down south into the Lumbridge Swamp, and we are going to burn 5 of the logs that we just chopped. We need to go down into the Lumbridge Swamp here before we burn these logs, because I'm then going to cook the rat meat on the fire in the Lumbridge Swamp, which in itself is a task. After that, we're going to fletch the remaining 5 logs that we have into arrow shafts, which is a task as well. Then we're going to make our way into the mine here and prospect some copper. Again, that's a task. Most of what I'm saying here is tasks that we're knocking out, little 10-point tasks, bit by bit by bit, step by step. After we prospect the copper, we're then going to mine 10 of the copper. Both mining a copper 1 time and mining copper 10 times is a task. So there's 2 tasks down. Then we're going to mine 10 tin ore, which is another 2 tasks knocked out. And then thankfully there is a clay node here. We're going to mine that 1 time as well. We're going to need that for a task here in a second. After that, though, we're going to catch 1 shrimp east of the Lumbridge Swamp. We don't need to catch any more than 1 shrimp here. Then we're going to work our way up north into the furnace that's right next to Lumbridge to smelt 10 bronze bars. This again is 2 tasks knocked out in 1, because smelting a bronze bar is a task, and then smelting 10 of them is a task as well. We're also going to take that clay that we just mined and turn it into soft clay here, and then head over to these stalls here in Lumbridge and steal from them a total of 10 times. Stealing from a stall in Lumbridge is a task, and then stealing from stalls 10 times is a task as well. Then we're going to go ahead and sell something that we sold, whether it be a vegetable or whatever, to the general store. I might not need to do this depending on whether or not that task gets completed when we sell back the item that we took for free. I'm not entirely sure. After this, though, we're going to go and rest at the musician. Then we need to make our way up into the bank. Now, in the step-by-step that I recorded in the main game, you'll see that I did not go to the bank, and this actually caused a major problem a couple steps from now. But, you know, we can completely avoid this problem if we just go to the bank right here after we rest at the musician. On top of that, it's probably also worth me pointing out the fact that the Lumbridge Slayer Master that gave us a task, whatever it gave us, hopefully it's easy enough and local to the area we're going to need to take down. So after we bank all of our bronze bars, this is where I would go and try to knock down that task. Say, for example, she happened to give us a task of killing 10 goblins. That would be easy peasy. We would head across the river again, take out 10 goblins. I say 10 specifically because actually after that, we're going to need to bury a total of 10 bones and then activate the thick skin prayer. We're going to leave the thick skin prayer on all the way until we run out of prayer points here. While all of that is happening, we're going to make our way up to the wheat field north of Lumbridge, pick 2 wheat from that field, and then we're going to talk to the lady at the bottom of this wheat grinder, mill, whatever it's called. We have to do this for Cook's Assistant because it is not just regular flour that you have to turn in, it's actually fine flour that you have to turn in, and you have to talk to this lady first so she can shift the gears around and make it to where you actually get fine flour. After we get the fine flour, we then actually need to grind up some more wheat into regular flour, not only to possibly complete the task, but also we're going to need this regular flour for another task here in a minute. So everything kind of has a purpose in this step by step. After we get both of these pots of flour filled up, we're then going to head over to the start of the sheep shearer quest. And this, I think, is actually going to be a bit of a bottleneck inside of the leagues because this quest is not the same as it is in old school RuneScape. And I'm not positive if they're going to make the spawn rate on the wool of these sheep faster than it is normally. But as you can see here, he wants you to collect black wool. And inside of this pen, there are only 2 black sheep, meaning that if there are hundreds or even thousands of people competing for 2 black sheep, this may actually turn into a bottleneck. And if that's the case, it's a step that I will just completely and totally skip because we're doing many, many other things. However, if we can manage to knock this out, great. We'll collect 20 black wool. As you can see here in the background footage that I recorded, we only collected 10. That's because I thought we only needed 10, and we had completely botched our inventory at this point, which is why I said earlier we need to manage our inventory and bank these bars right after we listen to the musician, because we need at least 20 free inventory spaces for this step. After we collect this wool, though, we're then going to go and complete Cook's Assistant. This is going to allow us access to the range in the kitchen here. So we're going to take that extra flour that we made and make it into bread dough here at the sink and then cook it here on the range. Then we're going to head upstairs and spin all 20 of the black wool that we got. And I suppose it's worth me mentioning that we're also going to pick up 1 piece of white wool. I'm a little bit late on mentioning that. We're going to pick up 1 piece of white wool as well, just in case it doesn't count the black wool towards the extra task. So we'll spin that wool as well and head back up to complete Sheep Shearer. This in itself is probably going to boost our crafting level up to a point where it's like we're completing tasks like reach your first level 10 or whatever, but I'm not counting any of that inside of this step-by-step. We're just going for the guaranteed tasks that I know we're completing because we're physically doing them. Speaking of which, after we complete Sheep Shearer, we're then going to head over to Draenor Village, where we're gonna harvest pale wisps. If on our way to Draenor Village, we walk past or run past an onion field or a potato field, we are going to pick up onions and potatoes, though I missed that when I was recording all of the B film. I'm not positive if a potato field is on the way. If it's out of the way, we might skip it. But those are 2 tasks that can be completed as well, being eat an onion and then eat a baked potato. I did originally have those on the list, but like I said, in this B film, I didn't run past the fields, so I didn't grab the potatoes. If I manage to find the fields, do it. Like I'm saying, there's a couple extra tasks for you free of charge. But after we make our way to Draenor here, we're going to head over to this divination thing and harvest a pale wisp. As a matter of fact, we're going to harvest 10 memories from these pale wisps. All of this is going to knock out 3 tasks in total, being harvest the pale wisp, harvest from a wisp 5 times, and harvest 10 memories. Then we're going to convert the pale memories into energy, which is another task. After that, we're heading straight down south, where we're going to make our way to the top of the wizard's tower. This is a task, should be quick and easy. Straight to the top, straight to the bottom. We may peek in and see if we can try and take out the lesser demon if we happen to have magic, but that's a task we'll come back to at another time. I'm not too worried about that. So realistically, after we make our way to the top of the wizard tower, we're then going to go and catch a shrimp in Draenor Village. As a matter of fact, we're going to catch 10 shrimp in Draenor Village, which is going to knock out 3 tasks. Catch a shrimp, catch 10 shrimp, and catch any fish 5 times. Hopefully, while we're catching the 10 shrimp, we manage to catch an anchovy. If not, we might hang out here for a little bit till we do manage to catch an anchovy, but that's kind of up in the air. After that, though, we're going to cook up all 10 of these shrimp, which is going to knock out 3 tasks, yet again being cook a shrimp, cook 10 shrimp, and cook 5 fish. We'll also cook the anchovy. I don't know, or I don't think that that's a task. And then hopefully we also manage to burn a piece of this food, because I was trying it out here in this B film, and I believe in old school RuneScape, you can use food on a campfire or a range twice in order to burn it. However, it did not let me do that here, so I'm not positive if this is going to be like a RNG thing that we have to hit later on when we're cooking swordfish or something. After that, though, we're going to head up northwest towards Falador, where we're going to grab a cabbage from this field and then eat that cabbage. And then we're going to head south towards Port Sarim, where we're going to collect all of this stuff from Gudrick. We're doing this mainly just for the weapons, which give you the ability to perform a special attack. This is actually massive because it's a task that is worth 80 points. It is the equivalent of doing 8 of these other small tasks that we've been knocking out this whole time. So this is definitely something you need to knock out, especially considering you get all of this stuff for absolutely free, and it only requires level 5 attack, level 5 mage, or level 5 range to equip any of these weapons, and I'm pretty sure that all of them come with a special attack. So definitely this should be on your step-by-step plan. After this, though, we're going to home teleport to Lumbridge, which is another task, and then we're going to head all the way up north to Varrock. While we're here, we're going to kill one of these dark wizards and grab their bones. We'll need these bones here in a second. After that, we're going to unlock the Waystone here so we can easily teleport back to Varrock. Then we're going to make our way to the T-Stall. While we're on our way to the T-Stall, we need to keep our eye out for a stray dog. If we don't find one by the time we get there, then we need to constantly keep our eye out for a stray dog. But when we do finally find it, we need to give the bones over to that thing because that also is a task. When we get to the T-Stall, we're going to have to take one of these teas here. Then we're going to head up north into the church here, up to the second floor where there should be a lady in a rocking chair that you can give this cup of tea to, and she will tell you a story. Currently, while I was recording this, I'm on a free-to-play world, and this lady was not here, so I don't know why, I don't know what, I don't know if there's a point in time or a quest that you can do where she then moves. I don't know. When I was looking it up online, people were saying maybe because you're on a free-to-play world. I don't even know. Let me know down in the comments if you guys happen to know for sure. However, there should be somebody called Elsie up here that you can give this cup of tea to, and she's going to tell you a story, which in itself is another task that you need to knock out. Then we're going to head over to the Grand Exchange, just south of the Grand Exchange, where we're going to talk to this lady here in order to collect a free clue scroll. I don't know what level this clue scroll is. I wasn't able to collect one again because I'm on a free-to-play world on this account currently. If the clue scroll is easy enough to complete, it's definitely something that will knock out. I'm sure that will also be a task. However, it's definitely not at the top of the priority list currently, because then we're going to head down south to the Anvil in Varrock, and we're going to smith up a bronze dagger. As a matter of fact, we're going to smith up 10 bronze daggers, which is going to knock out 2 separate tasks. We've only got 2 more tasks here in the step-by-step plan. First being, we're going to work our way all the way up north to Edgeville, where we're going to unlock this lodestone, and we're going to take down the mugger that is near the Edgeville lodestone. That is a task. I don't know if unlocking the lodestone is a task, but every time you guys are near a lodestone, you should unlock it. But after we take down the mugger, we're then going to head down south to the Stronghold of Security, this being our final task of the game. We're going to make our way all the way through this and complete it entirely. I believe even in Runescape 3, this unlocks 10,000 gold for you, which after this point in time, we're going to be sitting at 850 or more points, which may already push us into the second tier of relic. And then you pair that with the fact that we've got this 10,000 gold that we can work with a little bit inside of the shop. This really kind of opens the game up. And from here, you can kind of take a step back and maybe take a look at some of the medium tasks and which one of those you're going to knock out, or dependent on which relic you picked right off the bat, maybe you go and you do some fishing all the way up to level 70 if you picked that one, or probably some mining all the way up to level 70 or something like that, knocking out some medium and hard tasks along the way. With mining specifically, which is kind of the way that I'm leaning, as soon as we unlock that relic, we'll probably be trying to mine up some gemstones in Al-Kharid. You know, knock down some crafting levels on top of mining levels would be absolutely massive. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have caught League fever and have really started to try and dial in any sort of step-by-step game plan. Also, if you made it this far in the video, comment made it down below so I can give you an extra shout out. We're going to be implementing this day one speed running strategy, if you will, live right here on YouTube as well as on Twitch. I'll have a link to the Twitch down in the description if you're interested. Be sure to stop by and check out how the progress is going on day one. If there's any extra steps you would add into this game plan, be sure to let me know down in the comments. But other than that, I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I'm out.